Just when you thought the series was over, after months where we didn't make a video in this playlist, rising like a phoenix from the ashes, today we are reviving the most anticipated series of the 2023 season, Why I Want. Now this, if you haven't been paying attention to the channel for the past 6 years, because this is the 6th time we've done it, we had seasons for 2018, 19, 20, 21, and 22, so now season 6, it's a big bad year. We've made videos about the guys that were pretty much considered to be the top 3 of this year's draft already, Connor Bedard, Adam Fantilli, and Matvei Michkov, but we have not talked about any of the guys that really started to emerge in this season's worth of play. And we're kicking things off with the guy that a lot of people are saying is a pretty significant challenger for one of those top spots behind Connor Bedard. Could he even go first overall? Who really knows? But this is a player who, if you take a look at his overall prospect profile, there is so much to like about this guy, and it's absolutely incredible to see what he's done so far in the SHL, that there's a reason why some scouts and some NHL analysts are comparing this player to one of the best Swedish players we have ever seen. Let's talk today about the prospect currently with the consolidated ranking of 3rd overall in the draft, Sweden's own Leo Carlsson. Now, just to get names out of the way, yeah, that's Carlsson spelled C-A-R-L-S-S-O-N. Not like John Carlson with one S or Eric Carlson with a K, but it's kind of the best of both worlds here. Leo Carlsson is an 18-year-old center winger. He plays all forward positions. He's 6'3", 194 as a left-handed guy. So right away, at 18 years old, this guy's pretty big. And this season with the Örebro Hockey Club in the SHL, in a 36-game sample, he has 19 points, 6 goals, and 13 assists. Now, the SHL is pro men's hockey, meaning that this is the top league in the entire country, and this is a pretty good landmark for a guy who literally is still a draft-eligible player. Not to mention the fact that he suited up for Team Sweden at the World Juniors, where he had 6 points in 7 games in that tourney. Again, this is a tournament that's normally dominated by 19, 20-year-olds, so seeing a guy who is 18 come out here and do as well as he did in the tournament, it's a very good sign. He outproduced a lot of guys who were already drafted, like Fabian Wagner, Isaac Rosen, Noah Uslan, Jonathan Lekaramaki. He was the 3rd most productive player on his team in points, and he was one of the only ones that was not actually drafted. Now, the points kind of speak for themselves, and in fact, if you go over to this tweet made by Chase McCallum from earlier in January, so about a month ago, he was a little bit hotter earlier on in the season, but there still is a point to be made here. There's Leo Carlsson, currently having one of the most productive SHL seasons ever from a draft-eligible skater. He has cooled off a little bit since his hot start, but still has crazy good production, especially for a guy ranked 3 to 5 more often than not. You could see that included in this graph, Leo Carlsson is having a better SHL point production year than players like Alexander Holtz, Patrick Carlson, Elias Andersson, Dahlin, and Hedman. Now, the latter two are defensemen, so it's kind of an unfair comparison, but Carlsson is kind of in that similar points per game-ish territory as guys like Nick Backstrom, William Eklund, and Elias Lindholm. He's a little bit behind them, but there still is a reason why he is ranked the way he is. If you want to talk about those rankings, hey, Carlsson is a consolidated ranking 3rd overall on Elite Prospects. EP themselves has him at number 3, as do the Hockey News, Bob McKenzie, McKean's, Button, and Sportsnet. You also have yourselves a few other outlets like Future Considerations, having him at number 4, Recruit has him at number 6, Dauber at 4, and Draft Prospects Hockey has him at number 4 as well. So all things considered, this is a bona fide top 5, most likely top 3 kind of guy. And if you look at all the other scouting reports, you could see that number 1, number 2, it's usually a toss-up between Bedard and then Fantilli. There are still some people that are high on Michkov, as am I, but Carlsson is sort of in that tier of 1B-ish. If you wanted to say 1C, you could say that. So Bedard, Fantilli, Carlsson seems to be the 1, 2, 3 on most people's lists, and then there are some other names that kind of insert themselves as well. But when it comes to how Leo Carlsson plays the game and what makes him such an effective hockey player, we're going to go over on to Smart Scouting and read what they have to say about him, because there's a very in-depth scouting report here written by the crew The intro paragraph talks about how Carlsson is a prospect who can be a cornerstone player in a few years. His combination of speed and size can make him difficult to beat in every zone. The next parts of the article go over his differing styles of play. In terms of his forechecking, Carlsson does an excellent job of creating space for himself in heavy traffic situations with puck manipulation. He shifts the puck towards the attacker and then cradles it quickly to the other side. Then he skates in the open ice and can get a quality shot on net or pass the puck to an open teammate. In terms of defense in his own zone, Carlsson will defend sometimes like a winger and sometimes like a center, but the writer here on Smart Scouting says they like his defense quite a bit. He takes up space and draws oppositional puck movement into low danger. He does a good job assessing vulnerability and calling an audible to switch from defending like a center to defending like a winger. If he sees that an attacker has the puck on his stick and he's the closest player, he'll use an active stick to trap them in low danger areas along the boards. In terms of his skating, he is a good blend of speed and size, constantly stays well aligned to the puck movement. He has quick feet and can reach a pivot on a dime. When he looks to generate speed when going after a loose puck in the neutral zone, he'll use a crossover or two to get momentum and keep the momentum alive with lengthy stride extensions. Projection. This is the final part of the article. It's a really good article, by the way. I kind of read a few excerpts here. There's a lot more included in this piece, so a link is in the description if you want to read this. Carlsson is a potential cornerstone player. He has all the tools that teams look for in an impact player, a player that teams can count on no matter what the situation. He constantly looks for ways to move the puck up the ice and into high danger. There is one heck of a player in Leo Carlsson. Just for good measure, we're going over onto Dalibor as well because they have some words to say about this player. He's an offensively skilled and versatile forward with great size and hockey sense. His combination of size and skill gives him a safe floor, and he has the upside to develop into an impactful top 6 forward in the National Hockey League. Carlsson has a very comprehensive toolkit, as he's good in practically every area and also has a projectable 6'3" frame. He's an excellent puck handler and, along with his size, is a strong puck protector. His playmaking is very strong as he possesses excellent vision and is a precise passer. Last season, Carlsson didn't look as strong as a shooter, but was able to score a bunch of nice goals anyway. This season's U24 Nations Tournament in August shows that I might have just missed something, as he scored 4 goals and 3 quality performances for the national team there. I think Carlsson is a very rare package, as he basically has everything you could ask for, and he's squarely in the mix for a top 5 spot in the draft, writes Eetu Siltanen. And then you have the social media discourse. It was actually Ryan Whitney that I saw really be the first guy to put Carlsson highlights on the map. Not that there weren't people posting about Leo Carlsson beforehand, but when Ryan Whitney posted this clip of Leo Carlsson dangling around his opponents, splitting the D like hot knife through butter, he kind of went out there and labeled Carlsson as a young Matt Sundin. And honestly, that's sort of the profile that Carlsson reminds me of. I mean, in this clip itself, it looks very obvious, but realistically, when it comes to everything that Carlsson is good at doing, he is just so good, so calm, and practical with it all, that there's some sort of a mature aura that emanates from every movement that he goes out there and does, in a similar way that Sundin had when he was in his prime in the NHL. Just slick hands, really calm offensive creativity, and able to slip into the small areas when needed. He's putting himself in proper positions to score. When he has the puck on his stick, he's able to find guys with ease, make some really nice deceptive moves to open up passing lanes. Leo Carlsson is just an overall strong player, especially with that big frame of his that keeps him from getting shoved around a lot. To top it all off, we're going over onto an article on dailyfaceoff.com. What makes Leo Carlsson one of the top prospects for the 2023 draft? A scout went out there and said this: Carlsson's net front presence might be the best in the draft, and he showed that against Finland specifically. His strength makes him tough to clear out, and that allows him to sit there and knock in deflections and rebounds. Defensemen haven't figured out what to do with him just yet. The sky is the limit here for Leo Carlsson, who won't wait long to get selected in June. Teams always crave smart, skilled, big-bodied middlemen. He's the best bet to challenge for the number 2 spot with Adam Fantilli, who plays a similar game with a similar build. With the right talent around him, he has the potential to be a cornerstone player in the NHL. His game is built upon smarts and power, and he'll do everything better than your team's favorite prospect, too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Leo Carlsson. Links in the description to all the articles we looked at here in this video. If you're a fan of a team that's sort of going to be in a draft lottery position, do you want Carlsson? Do you think you'd rather go with somebody else instead? There aren't too many prospects that I think really best out Carlsson when it comes to the fan sentiment for these prospects, but either way, the comment section is your floor, as I always say, so that will be your stage for sharing your opinions. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I roll 99, and bye.